Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Address of Champions Wrestling Podcast. You're here with the best cast on the planet. You got me, Damani. Let's introduce ourselves.
Serena.
Uh-huh.
Usually you got me.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to rock.
All right. So I guess where we should begin today is with the bet that we had put up last episode, right? So the bet was whoever selected the least amount of correct champions for the NCAA tournament was going to have to get egged. However, however, a lot of us we all had different picks in certain spots, but we all guessed 3 out of 10 correct. So,
What do we do? Rock, paper, scissors?
not me, Pastor. Mm-mm, not me.
If there was a nigga around, I'd probably take it. I'd take it for the team.
I don't know. I mean, I have an egg. I just bought eggs yesterday, but I'm not doing it.
Oh, you were prepped to do it?
Well, not for this. Like, I thought maybe to make 10
You were
eggs.
prepping. We could do it as a poll and be like, all right,
That's a
Who
good
does it?
idea.
who gets egged?
For some reason, I feel like I would be the chosen one.
You gotta tell your friends go and vote.
Yeah.
But overall, the tournament I would say was pretty crazy. A lot of storylines, a lot of stuff, even right now, still going on, which is crazy, mind-boggling. But overall, what would you guys think? Like, what would you say about the tournament?
I made it to the finals.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it was sick.
it was good. I have I went with the guy just for the finals. We drove down there the day of. I got some ticket off some people I know. Had really good tickets. I was down in the box section, middle section, like probably 30 rows up, and it got to heavyweight, and Gable Stevenson was wrestling, and there was probably about a minute and a half left. I could see the guy I was with. I like to he's like one of those gotta beat traffic guys. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we gotta beat traffic. He's
Yeah,
one of
yeah,
those.
yeah. We gotta get out of
Like,
here.
dude, I'm like, there's a chance of an upset here. Like, I'm thinking in my head, but he's just like, I gotta beat traffic guys. So he was in control of the situation, and as we walked out of the stadium, I'm guessing the eruption happened, and Gable got taken down, and yeah, I missed the biggest upset in wrestling history because
No
I
way.
was with the I swear to I swear I was out on that. I was just outside. I think the last second of the time that I saw on the clock was a minute 40 left in the third period, and we were walking out the door. So just
That
met.
was a crazy
Yeah,
situation. On last week's podcast, you're like, oh, he ain't losing, because I was about to go with the upset.
you
And
were.
you
No,
guys,
she wasn't.
yes, do you not remember? I said, oh, maybe
Yeah,
I'll go with the underdog.
Nah,
And
she didn't.
you're like, nah, Gable's not losing. I'm like, all right.
I mean, I think that yeah, I mean the only in the finals that upset. I mean Dan Gable in 70 when he lost. That was like the biggest thing to Larry Owens, and um, I mean there's been some big upsets like Spencer Lee losing in the semis wasn't amazing. I remember watching Brett Metcalf lose in the finals to Darren Caldwell, but he already got beat by him before.
Mhm.
Um, like David Taylor as a freshman getting pinned. I was there against Bubba Jenkins, but this one was just so unprecedented. Like, I think that
Great.
people just thought of it as being like there's everybody else, and then this guy is just on a whole nother level, not just in NCAA, but in the entire world, So
Fact.
to have him lose and like just the grit that it took Wyatt Hendrickson to like get in on that double leg and just, um, yeah, like
He knee slid.
I've seen Gable in that situation time after time after time after time again. Somebody gets in underneath him, and his hips are they're just so big, and he's so fast with his feet, and that takedown's given up every time, and just the grit to knee slide up, knee slide up, knee slide up, and just
Change the corner.
the amount
Boom.
of strength that took to be able to pull off that takedown and just heart.
Right.
It really just like for me, it was like inspiring because just the belief that somebody has to have when you're going in there and the whole world's telling you you can't beat somebody, and to be able to just have that belief and still go out there and get it with that last 30 seconds is incredible. You know, that's what I love about the sport.
Yeah, that it was like beyond crazy. Like I could only imagine if I was there. I would have been like, because I was like that watching it off my phone at like a little function, like a little family function. I was like, what? They're
I
all
was at
like, what's going on? They're like, what's happening? I was like, this is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, I was at an engagement party, and one of the kids that was there was a big wrestler, and I go, "Did you just see this?" He goes, "No way," and I'm like, "Way," and then that was it.
Yo,
I
how
texted
about
both of you. I'm like,
the,
hello."
the best thing
I was
was
locked in.
so Serena's dad called me. He's like, "How was the finals, man, Gable?" And I was like, "Yeah, it was crazy. Like, can you believe Gable see?" He's like, "I can't believe you were there to see it." I was like, "I didn't," and he just started laughing. He's like, "What?" I was like, "I didn't see it,
Hey, at
man."
least you're not lying.
Yeah.
Like, if I
So,
was there, I'd be like,
That's
"Oh my god,
nuts.
crazy," but, like,
but I mean, that's the. I mean, there's nothing else when it comes to that tournament. It's like that's one of the not just the biggest story of that tournament, but probably the biggest story in wrestling. And
The last
I
two.
can't even say. Yeah, it's just so unbelievable.
I
Um,
think everything happens for a reason. Like I feel like there was a reason why he came back. I feel like there was a reason why, like the president was there. I like think about this. Dan Gable lost his last college
yeah,
match ever.
Gable
Gable is named after Dan Gable.
middle name is
Loses,
Dan.
yeah, loses his last match ever. I think that was like the energies
Fine.
were entwined, and then
Yeah,
the president being there. My man's like a second lieutenant. He like it was crazy. Even like the little banter, like he came up on the stage with the flag, and Gable was
yeah,
just in his mitt. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, this is hot. I'm like,
yeah,
this is hot, but it
yeah.
was just crazy.
I mean, it was just sitting there and watching. I was like, is Gable? Because I never seen Gable do that. Gable's very like he seems like he's always like very calm. He's very respectful of his opponents because I guess it's easy to be when you're always beating the crap out of everybody that to
Yeah,
just be like, hey, welcome to the mat. I'm gonna give you a whooping. But like I think that there was some like I don't know. I mean, I've never seen him get in someone's
little
face
doubt, little doubt.
and maybe a little doubt. There might have been a little doubt. I don't know. Or, I mean, and like if it came down to him having that American flag because and saying that he's not an Olympic champion, like that guy's in the he's in the Air Force. Like he can drape that flag over him as much as he wants. You know,
Fact.
that's
yeah.
so I just think that. But at the end of it, Gable, I saw on the podium, he was giving him props, and um, Gable's great for the sport. You know, I think that he's win or lose that match, like his legacy is pretty simple. I just honestly I thought he was the greatest heavyweight that ever was, and I think he still is, and that's why it's
Right.
amazing. It's honestly just like it's like wrestling's man. It's like stories like that. It's there. It's like yeah, you just to see somebody think that they're unbeatable, and then there's somebody out there that just really truly believes in his coaching. And that's another thing to talk about David Taylor and his first year at Oklahoma State and what he
Crazy.
did. Man, like it's that Penn State, like it's just going to Oklahoma State, and it's like, man, like is he gonna do it now?
Yeah, 3 national finalists, 2 champs. First year coaching is crazy.
It's unbelievable. And I actually so Jordan Oliver, I sent out a tweet to him, and he grew up in Easton area. We graduated the
Yep.
same year. I actually I was unfortunate to have get humbled by him in seventh grade in a tournament. He wouldn't remember,
Oh,
but it didn't go that well for me. It's a funny story. I think it was at Notre Dame Elementary School in Bethlehem, and that season in seventh grade, I was like 33-2 on the year. I won our like junior high districts, and I was like, I thought I was pretty good. Like I really thought I was good. Um, and I was beating kids that I previously didn't beat. And I was like, man, I'm really good at this. And I went out there, and my cousins all lived in the Bethlehem area. And my mom was telling them how, like, yeah, Kev was like basically undefeated this year, won districts. He's been just killing everybody. And my cousins came out to see me, and it was a single elimination tournament. And I look across from me, and Jordan Oliver's there. I don't know who he is. It was before Flo and all that stuff.
Yeah.
This match didn't last too long. And like my cousins, I remember I got off the mat, and my cousins were like, dude, I thought you said you were good. And I just stormed out of it. So yeah, Jordan Oliver gave me a pretty humbling experience. But I tweeted him, and I said,
Oh God.
I said, yo, how would you rate David Taylor's first season?
I
And
saw that.
did you see it? Yeah, you
I
saw it, right?
saw that.
Dude,
Wait,
I
when did you
know.
see them? Just recently?
Yeah, that was my tweet.
I saw that
Yeah,
on like a wrestling page.
it was on Twitter, and maybe it got posted somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, somebody ended up posting it on a wrestling page.
Yeah. And then he said
Yeah,
something about like he would go back and stuff.
yeah. So I tweeted him, and I
What's your
said,
Twitter?
I figured that it might end up like all over the place because it was a pretty like revealing. So I said, rate David Taylor's first year at Oklahoma State. And he said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say a dang 12. I would have given him a 15 only if he brought me back home. So basically saying like if he brought him back home to coach with him. But
Yeah.
all seriousness, freaking amazing, and has all of us Cowboys so dang excited about the future of Cowboy wrestling. It's in amazing hands. And then I tweeted back, and I said, you going to Stillwater if you ever get the call? The people need to know. And Jordan Oliver said, in a heartbeat. So
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy.
yeah, so
That's crazy.
yeah, so it like had like 17,000 views. A lot of people were like retweeting it and
Says
stuff.
you're
So I figured that
protected.
it probably would make its way, because that's like that's just pretty interesting stuff. Like to know that Jordan Oliver, he's like, I think of Oklahoma State outside of like John Smith. Like Oliver is like one of the first people that comes to mind, right?
Go Pokes.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nah, that's
So
what I looked up to too. Coming up, I was like, I gotta be like this guy.
dude,
He was the man.
he was just so slick. Like that's the thing. Like he was just so slick. He took my buddy down, Mike Smith, at regionals in high school. I was like, dude, watch out for his low single. He comes off the whistle with it. I swear the whistle, like the clock didn't go from like 2 minutes to 1:59, and he already had 2 points. I was like, bro, you couldn't even last a second. You couldn't go 1 second.
Nuts.
But yeah, so Oklahoma State just crushed it. Like awesome. I don't know
They
about
Great.
you. It feels like they're gonna start pushing Penn State and make things interesting.
I think they're gonna land a lot of big names because of their performance. I also think some people might go to Nebraska because
Nebraska had an amazing tournament.
Nebraska went crazy.
They had an amazing tournament, and
It's crazy that Penn State is not like getting more like love because they beat an NCAA record for most like the
their own
highest
record.
tournament score at like what 177,
Yeah,
10 AAs, and that's like not the biggest headline.
yeah,
I just think it's because that surprise factor of that like main event match kind of swiped it from them. But like you got 10 AAs, that's only been done one time, and
yeah.
what was it? 8 guys were all top 3. Like you got 8 guys that plays top 3, which
Were
is
those the 3
Yeah.
that I guessed?
what's up?
Is that?
Were those the 3 that I got right?
I think that you definitely got at least one right. I would say.
I don't have my slip with me.
Actually, I think you picked Bo Bartlett. I think you
Yeah.
picked Luke Lillidahl.
She
And
picked
they
Carter.
both took third. And then I don't know if you picked Messenbrink or not, but I think you probably did. No?
No, I think she picked Carter. While I picked
Carter.
Parker K.
Oh, Carter. Okay. Yeah. So, but
Ah,
yeah, like 10
crap.
All-Americans is insane. The only other team that ever do it was Minnesota in 2000 or 2001 or something like that. And that's the other thing. Like, I think another important thing to talk about is like with them is that we saw guys, we've seen Penn State in the semis for so many years now, just dominate the semifinals. Like they get in the semifinals and they become superhumans. And it's just like, one guy in the finals, two guys in the finals, three guys in the finals, four guys. I mean, how many years in a row does it seem they've had at least five guys in the finals?
A
They just
lot.
dominate. I think they said there was like a 90% win rate in the semis over like the last 8 years. That's insane. And to see them lose in the semis, like they lost a few semifinal matches, and those guys gutted it out. Their coaching staff is the best to get them ready and have that, like, all right, you talk about gratitude, you talk about having fun, you talk about all this stuff. When you're winning, it's easy, right? But now you're
Right.
getting knocked down to the wrestlebacks, and they gutted it out, and almost all of them came back and took third. Like, that's pretty incredible, and that shows, like, I think they really are.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was so bad that they had the who was it? Meyer Shapiro. He's like he lost to K-Sac and was like, yes, some of these guys are on steroids.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's making some serious accusations. Like, you better be back in. And he didn't even mention who it was either. He
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
said, I mean, wink, wink. He said, wink, wink. Like, bro, if you're gonna throw some stuff out there, you better have something to
Yeah, burn the
back
boats.
it up
Burn
with,
the
dude.
boats. That caused an uproar because what? Who was defending it hard? Like Bo Nickel was defending it hard, and then people were like, "You see, the only guys really jumping on this issue is the Penn State guys." I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, whoa,
And then Palacio goes, he said, what he said, Bo says something about his greatest accomplishment as something.
yep,
Like,
yep,
my greatest accomplishment is doing camps for kids all over the place for free, where I had to make you pay $10,000 to sit there on a phone and watch and show a front headlock or something like
yeah,
that. I was like, yo, that's a
crazy."
burner.
That's because Palacio he had a lot of Bitcoin, like a lot of Bitcoin before it exploded.
Yeah.
So when it exploded, he became like a super millionaire. So he was
Really?
Yeah, so with his, I think he did a nonprofit, the L40 Foundation or something like that. And every summer it was him and Johnny DeJulius, and they were just putting people in camps, putting people in camps, putting people in camps.
Yeah. Yo, Johnny DeJulius, his Instagram is insane.
Insane.
He's just jumping off buildings. Like,
Who's
he
this?
swims with sharks. He flies on a plane. He stands up on a plane, Serena, and the plane flies, and he just is hooked to the plane. Flying. He's insane. It's great.
He landed that role in that movie to play Matt McDonough.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy's living the dream, dude.
Yeah, he was like, he goes, they asked me about my management or my talent manager. I told them, yeah, he's gonna call, and he like gave them like his number or something, and he like when they called, they was like, yeah, he's good. So he
Yeah.
wasn't not supposed to get that role, but he got the role.
I
I had a
mean, the
couple
guy,
boys in it, too.
Serena, you got to look him up on Instagram. His name is Johnny DeJulius.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can spell it. I have Johnny typed D.
Gohnni.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then his last name is DeJulius. But
Oh, and
he
spelled
actually,
Johnny G?
like, if you watch his Instagram, like, you can get anxiety just watching what he's doing, because he'll just hang, like, he does insane things.
I spelled Julius.
Yeah.
DIJULIU.
So it's like, yeah.
But he's yeah,
Yeah, so
he's been like, I see he's torn and stuff. But yeah, check that out, because that guy, he's pretty cool. It's but yeah, I think that, like you said, Oklahoma State, great tournament. Nebraska, great tournament. Penn State, incredible tournament. Gable Steveson, the Hodge Trophy, right? That's gonna be coming up.
I think they're gonna give it to Starachi.
Yeah, I think, like, when I think about it, like, I don't see how we can have a Hodge Trophy with a guy that won five of these national tournaments, undefeated at least three of them, and how we can't have his name etched in, like, the history as one of the guys that won it. You know what I mean? Like, Wyatt Hendrickson, great season, um, upset one of the best ever. But I just think, like, when I look at that Hodge Trophy, I want to be able to see like the names on it and be like, oh wow, yeah, Carter Strachey, David Taylor, Kyle Dake, you know, like the
Like,
names, Logan Stieber, like those are the names that you go with it. And like in my mind, it's like Wyatt Hendrickson, like great wrestler, but and it just seems like to me, I don't know. I think that's like putting Larry Owings on the Hodge Trophy instead of Dan Gable. That name just doesn't hold the same weight over time.
fact.
You
It's like
know?
that. Legends only on there.
Yeah.
They're
So
dogs.
yeah, they gotta be dogs. They
We're
gotta
not
be
bringing it back. We're not bringing it back.
dogs. Yeah.
Overall, like,
I know exactly how
But
many times we said dogs last podcast,
how
and
many?
maybe if someone guesses it correct, maybe they could win a free T-shirt.
I want to have that crew neck with the dog with the headphones on it.
Oh yeah, we
I
have
was
that.
trying to get somebody to make it for me today so that when I showed up on the podcast, I'd have a big dog on it.
No one did it for you.
No, we were busy.
that's
Too
We're
busy.
but
Yeah, I'd say probably 20, 22 times.
38.
Oh, that's a lot
Because
of
we said
times.
like underdogs. You said dogs, 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 dogs like 5 times in one sentence, and then like it was just 38 times.
That's because my boy Steve Middich, he got dog in my head. He's always saying beat dog. So it just stuck with me.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah.
Shout out to Steve. What a
Yeah,
guy.
we gotta throw a Steve Middich shout out there.
Yeah.
Steve Middich and Tom Ryan got in a little barking. I don't know if you saw that, but Steve Middich, Tom Ryan called him a coward, and then somebody posted it, but Steve didn't back down. I'll tell you that much.
Some
you about to
Steve.
come at him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
Steve, right?
so. At the Big Tens, there was a situation that happened where um, a kid from Rutgers got slammed by a kid from Ohio State, right?
Mm.
And the kid, I think he had a concussion or something. I'd have to look more into it. I didn't dig too deep into it, but my understanding was like a trap arm slam maybe. And the kid wasn't, and I know Steve pretty well. I can't see Steve ever being like, yeah, he's not like that. Like he would call the kid like say, get out there, dude. Like go fight for it. But apparently the kid wasn't able to wrestle anymore. And who knows, I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. And in between sessions, Tom Ryan was standing like facing away from Steve like this. And he was looking over his shoulders and he's like, you're cowards. You're cowards. And Steve was just like, I'm a coward? He goes, you're a coward. You're a coward. And then the guy's like, you're a coward. And Tom Ryan, he's like, I would never do that. He's going, but they were going at it. I'd have to find the video. So
That's nuts.
yeah. So it was this whole situation. So I don't know. And then what else we got here, Damani and Serena? We got transfer portal stuff. Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
I
just to
guess
sum up the tournament, like it was just like, congrats to all the champs, man. Like you guys really did your thing, showed out.
Slade.
was there
Yeah,
anything else in the tournament that like stuck out to you?
I mean, you got a freshman natty champ at 125. First
Yeah.
one, Darian Caldwell, super dope. 33.
Wazowski too.
Oh, Luke Bird. We can't
Nick
forget about my
Wazowski.
boy, the short king.
Yeah, yo, that's a story
Oh
in
yeah,
itself.
no, he's TikTok famous.
Story.
He's
Yo, how about this? So that guy, his girl is a volleyball girl, and she's like
yeah, she's
she's
very
like
very
my
tall.
height. Like she's like 6'3".
Yo, I was
He's
watching it.
I
I was
work with
watching it live. I was like, he hugging her in a way that's like not like his mom, and I'm like, I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
they're TikTok famous.
that's nuts.
my short king.
Short
Yo,
king.
they're viral, man. Those
Yeah,
two. They
they've
love
been
each other.
viral. Let me see.
And he got like the Harry Potter glasses, like the perfect like circle Harry Potter glass, where he will rip someone's arm off. Like,
Yeah,
I was
Dude, he's got to jump on a trampoline to give her a kiss when she go in there and there.
like, legend.
Like twice as tall as him. But
Yeah.
I work with a coach. He actually his wife posted something on Facebook. So his name's Kerry Bowmans. And in 2000, he actually wrestled Terry Brands in the Olympic trial finals. It's actually a match that you could watch. Like, you go on YouTube and watch it. It's a great match. Terry Brands, legend of the sport, obviously.
Yep.
It went into I think they did overtime back then in freestyle, and it went into like overtime for Terry Brands to get a takedown and win. Like, this is how close this guy Kerry Bowman's was to make an Olympic team. And we just did some singlets. They got some cool singlets, but his wife is a volleyball player, and she posted. I was like, oh my god, and she's like, sorry, Lucas Burge, you're 25 years behind or something, and it's literally the same thing. He's a shorter guy, and she's tall, dude. I'm telling you. I was like, dude, that's so funny.
That's
Some
crazy.
other
We
TikToks.
got some short kings out there. If you look it up, Terry Bowman's and Kerry Bowman's, but it's Boumans. Yeah, she posted something about it.
That's
So
funny. Yeah,
this,
that was a story in itself. And the way DC was commentating it,
yeah.
he's like, oh, you can't even see her on the camera. She's so tall. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
DC,
crazy.
yeah, that's another thing. I thought that DC did a great job, man. He did a great
Always.
job. Jordan Burroughs, like they did a great job for the and like I know, like, no matter what, like the wrestling community, people are just like, they're always gonna be haters and
Yeah.
stuff. I think when you have DC in there and he's broadcasting, he brings eyes to the sport. He's gonna bring that whole UFC. Um, that, like, people will just come in there if they see that Daniel Cormier is and I think that's a huge thing. But I think we definitely need to get Kirk, whatever his name is. I don't know about him out there doing the interviews, but I like DC.
Crazy, real crazy, that guy.
Yeah,
Hayden
but
Hidley did a good job on the Madcast too.
who was
He
it?
sounded Hayden Hidley.
Oh yeah. Hayden
He
was
was
down there.
yeah, he was on Madcast the whole weekend.
Really?
No, not Hayden. Trent.
Trent Hidley. Oh yeah. So
Trent.
during COVID, I saw Hayden at PA States. We were down at PIAA States, and he was with my buddy Kent Lane down there. Um, and I told him, he came over and was talking Kent, and I was talking to Hayden. But during those kids are so, dude, Kent and Trent and Hayden Hidley during COVID. There's a lot of guys that were asking for money and this and that, which is understandable. During COVID, there was like a lot of things were shut down. And I started running Zoom practices where it started with just the kids in my club, but it ended up kind of growing, and we ended up having kids from like Iowa and like all different states, like Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, New York. And we did them the whole COVID during the whole shutdown. Like, we probably did 20 of them. It was like twice a week, and we'd have different people come in, and we did stuff like anything that you could do inside of a house that you could work on, whether it would be some technique that you could shadow drill, or if you had a brother or something. But every coach kind of brought something different to the table. It was actually pretty cool. But Trent and Hayden Hidley came in and did their they did it completely for free, no charge. Like, they were in it for like an hour and a half with the kids, answered questions, and those guys are just great to be able to do that, because they could have gotten a lot of, like, they were getting money.
They could have got paid.
So,
Shout out to him.
shout out to the Hidleys for sure. They're the kind of guys that just love it. So I'm with them.
You could see it in his commentating that he just loves wrestling. Like, he
Loves
knows
it.
every like minute detail. Like, I think they asked him a question. They were like, "Do you know, like every 4-time national champ right off the top of your head?" He was just like, "Poop, poop, poop." I'm like, God.
Yeah. Yep. They're great. So, but yeah, I don't know
Let's talk about it.
what's out. Who's out there? AJ Ferrari.
So
AJ
the
Ferrari's
portal
out
opened up. Yep, portal
doing
opened up.
splits.
What's up?
AJ Ferrari went into the transfer portal with his splits.
Oh, I did just see that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like turning in. He's kind of like Nicky Push-Ups, Nicky Suriano. He's just going from one place to the next. We don't know where he is.
Handsome Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ Ferrari
He's in the transfer portal.
entered portal.
Another big one's Rocco Welsh from
Oh
Ohio
my
State.
God,
He was
that
in
was
the
huge. They
finals
said he's
last year.
going Penn
Yeah,
State.
he's on there, and Casey Swidar.
Yeah. Casey
Man.
Swiderski from Iowa State, another All-American.
Yep.
Yeah, so Rocco Welsh, he was saying that he's staying in Ohio State. Like he just posted something a couple months ago. He's like, I'm not going anywhere. And then now he's in the transfer portal. And from what I'm hearing, it's looking like he's talking Penn State.
Which I don't know what they're gonna do because what weight would he go? Like
I mean, he wrestled Carter Starachi in the finals, right?
at
At
74.
174. So maybe 184, he's just going in and taking, which, I mean, he's a PA kid. And maybe he just didn't go to Penn State because of the fact that he was just behind some guys, and now Strachey's out of there, and he's like, all right, I'm a Penn Stater. Like, I don't know.
They got Zach Ryder though. Ryder's good.
Yeah, I mean, just to make the lineup at Penn State, man, like they got backups there that you saw. Bear Claw just during this tournament took 5th in the country. He was a backup at Penn State for 3 years.
Ryder's
There
good.
are a few people from Penn State in this too.
Yeah,
There's
they're guys that are just kind of backups.
the
Facundo,
Facundo, yeah, that's a big one though.
that's a good
yeah,
transfer. Oh, David Evans. Speaking of which, David Evans is on there, isn't he?
yep.
Yep.
Serena? So David Evans is from Tunkhannock, PA, and
Correct.
he never won a state title in PA. But
What
then he went
school?
to Tunkhannock.
Oh, he went to Tunkhannock.
But he went out to Penn State, and he's been honestly probably one of the top 5 guys in the country. And he hasn't even been able to wrestle because he's been behind Kasich, and before Kasich, he was behind Van Ness, and he's just like right there with those guys. They'll go to open tournaments, and he loses by a point. And he's been spending 3 years in college just sitting behind these guys. So I am happy to see him go get a chance at being able to wrestle, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another guy from Penn State, James Friccioni. Did we talk about him yet? He's at 197, which is what that AJ kid's at, right?
yeah. I don't know. I'd have to look at the name. How do you spell
One
it?
of Ferrari's little brothers just transferred into LIU and he's already out.
Yeah, I don't think he's like out of the 3 brothers, he's like kind of the forgotten one as far as like talent goes, right? Because AJ Ferrari's little brother might be the best of them all. What is it, Anthony?
Yeah. No. Is it?
Oh no,
I think
Angelo
Angelo.
over at
Anthony.
Iowa.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Anthony just transferred, or he just went into the transfer portal.
Freaking, there were some big names like Lakeland McNeil, 3-time AA.
Well,
He's
I'm in
in there,
seminary.
which is crazy.
Seminary.
Yeah, Lackland McNeil. Yeah, he just took 5th for North Carolina, right?
Cody Chittum. There's so many Iowa State guys are in the
Yeah,
portal.
there were. Like, I'm just scrolling through the list.
There's a lot of
Obviously,
big.
it says
There's a lot of
graduate.
big
That means
time.
they're seniors, right?
So also with that too, like I was just thinking as we're talking about these transfer, there's a lot of big names in there that can end up other places that can make a big difference for the next year's tournament. Penn State, what are they going to do? Who's going to transfer there? Like, unless you think you really could secure a spot, there's a chance you transfer to Penn State and you're sitting as a backup. Like, I don't think that that's going to be the case. So this leaves the door open for somebody to really like drive home some like serious guys. And the Dapper Dans this weekend, right? I think that's another thing that's coming up, which is huge. Like Pittsburgh Wrestling Classic. And I was looking at the guys that are committed to different schools, and there's like 5 guys in the Dapper Dan that are going to Oklahoma State.
That or Penn State, right? Oh,
I'm
who?
telling you, look at it. It's all Oklahoma
Oh,
State.
Darian Lockett.
He's
He's
going to Oklahoma State. There's a
I thought
guy
you were
from
about to sneeze us
Pennsylvania. One
off.
of the guys from Pennsylvania that's ranked like number 3. I can't think of which one it is going there. It's definitely a David Taylor M2 guy from his club.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He's wrestling
97.
Alessio. No, I don't think he's wrestling Alessio. I think he is wrestling Alessio.
He's a higher weight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to Oklahoma State. And then there's 4 guys there's a guy from Stillwater, straight from Stillwater, that's going there. So that was an easy recruit. And I can't think of who it is. I'd have to look through it. But
Darian Lockett.
is he from Oklahoma State? Yeah, that guy, he's an animal. Yeah, he's an animal. But they Yeah, Oklahoma State, man, they got all these guys going to their school. And then Penn State. It's funny because like we see Jax Forrest is going to Oklahoma State too, right? And then they got all these other number ones, and then Penn State's just like, oh, we'll just go out to Japan and just pull in Ono, the world champion, and we'll just put him on our team.
Crazy. Crazy.
Yo, that guy is gonna be a superstar.
Oh my goodness. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, the rich get richer, huh?
Yeah.
What
So
the heck?
this guy, first off, I didn't know who he was. He's only 20 years old. He goes to the world championships this year and just runs through everybody, including the returning world champ, Vito Arujau. Just runs through everybody. Then he comes to the US, beats Spencer Lee. It's like this guy, and also like on top of that, he's likable. Like he's just like, it's even though he's from Japan, like you
He's a
like
little
him.
kid. He's just a little kid. Like he
He's
just
like a
having
fan,
fun.
he's just like he just loves all the other wrestlers. He just
Fact.
loves it. He's, he's
So he's going to Penn State officially?
He's already in
He's a
class.
world champion in freestyle wrestling, and he's going to Penn State. He's already like, I think
Like he's currently there.
He's already in classes now.
I think
But so
that
why wasn't he
he's
at the
got to wait on a
NCAA?
visa to be able to go there, but I think he's enrolled, right?
Yeah, he's enrolled right now.
Yeah. So
Wow.
he still has to wait on like customs and all that stuff to be able to get over there. But
So
yeah,
next year he'll probably most
he's
likely be
gonna
at
be wrestling this upcoming season.
At whatever weight he wants.
And I don't think that I just from hearing him talk, it seems like he's been watching folk style wrestling his like whole life because he's just a big fan of just Penn State and all the college guys. That I don't think that picking up the mat wrestling for him is something that's going to be that long to do. Just because I
No,
think he has
I
some
doubt
knowledge
it.
of it.
He
But
probably just
even
doesn't
then,
know so much.
Yeah,
let's say even if he doesn't pick it up, you're in a wrestling world today where takedowns are worth 3 points.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. I think like somebody like Ryan Crookham from Lehigh, like that's good on top, like maybe, but I don't know. I think that like just who's gonna wrestle? He's wrestling with Spencer Lee at that level. Like that's a super high level to be able to like
20
go.
at 20.
That's what I'm saying. Like the level that he's wrestling at is so high that I don't think that there's college kids that are going to be able to keep up with that level that he's at. But who knows? I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. But I just think that him on his feet, he's going to be pretty impossible to. I don't think anyone's going to beat him on his feet.
No, it's not.
He's at the top. I would say that last year at the World Championships, he was the best pound per pound guy. I
At
don't think
that
that's
the,
unfair
at
to say.
the non-Olympic weight world championship. Yep.
Yeah,
He's only 20 years old. That's insane.
yeah, he's incredible. So
So fun.
Like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like his little snap by to the outside, crazy. I'm like,
he just gets
man.
he's really good. Um, and I think that he's just like I have a feeling that he's like a kid that like grew up and like he just by watching him wrestle, I think he's like a big Cale Sanderson guy. Um, and I think that yeah, I think it's gonna be cool seeing him. He'll be here in Pennsylvania, which is cool because we get to go to Penn State a lot, and um, yeah, I think that it's gonna be pretty cool to have him there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
He would have 4 years because he probably wasn't in school.
I think he was going to school there,
Oh
but
yeah.
but
But
nobody
they might
knows
have
what the
to transfer
transfer
over.
rules are for like how does eligibility go from
Yeah.
changing from one country to the next.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how that works. He wasn't NCAA, right? So like, how's that work?
They'll
We'll
figure
see.
it out. He'll have 4 years.
He goes like this.
What?
This is what he said.
That new
You see
rule.
him on Flow?
Yeah, with
On
the
Flow,
headband.
he goes like this. He goes, "What weight are you gonna go?" He goes, "Oh, weight, maybe 125, 133, 141, 149, 140, 157. No problem. No problem.
Oh my god.
NCAA champ. No problem. 100%. No problem." He goes.
That's funny.
He's so basically he's wrestling anywhere from 125 to 157, which
Yep. He probably could though.
yeah. So
Someone someone really good is sitting.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be Braden Davis or, but they also have Marcus Blaze coming in, don't they? Marcus
Yeah, so
Blaze.
they said they think it's gonna be Lil Doll 25, Ono 33,
41
Blade
Blaze,
41. And what
49
then?
Van Ness.
Does he come back?
Yeah.
Finesse 49.
57 Kasich.
But that's if they don't slot in PJ right away.
PJ,
Dude.
Duke, PJ Duke. You don't think Kasich's got him?
I known PJ since he was a little guy. Like I known PJ
Yeah.
for a long time. PJ's good.
Yeah.
PJ was beating up on that kid from Illinois. Beat him twice. Cannon
Yeah.
Webster.
They're just,
He's a high school junior.
that team is just like loaded. It's so loaded. Their backups they could wrestle their backups at Penn State and they'd probably win them. They'd probably win a trophy at nationals.
Insane.
Right? They'd probably be top 3 or 4 at nationals with their
That's
backups.
crazy.
Yeah.
Good coaching, I'm sure too.
It's insane.
Plays a big
Yeah,
part.
they just built a dynasty there. So
I don't know what they do. I think they're gonna redshirt PJ, let K-Sack get another one. Messing Brink. I think Levi Haynes stays at 74. I also believe that it's gonna be a toss up for 84 with Ryder, uh the kid coming in, what's his name? Rocco Welsh. It's gonna be tossed up between them because Ryder redshirted this year. And then at 97 in heavyweight, you got the Mirascola brothers, who one of them has to wrestle Josh Barr.
yeah,
It is
it's
crazy.
insane. It's insane.
Crazy.
So
It's nuts.
you're in Ohio, right?
Me? No.
No,
Yeah.
he's New York.
Oh, and your school that you're coaching at's in New York.
No, that's in Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island, okay.
Yep.
Rhode
I was
Island,
gonna say,
New York, isn't it?
well, since the Dapper Dan's coming up, I think it's this weekend. I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
No,
I was just watching something.
yeah, tomorrow at 3.
It's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Cool event, man. Like I've seen some really cool things happen at that tournament. I think Pennsylvania might have a chance to take it this year. It's like I was looking at it. They could actually keep it like, and it's been a while since Pennsylvania's beat the US in that. But I was looking at it. If you look up there's a chance.
Yeah. Yikes.
There's a chance. They got like an Asher Cunningham, who's Casey Cunningham's son, isn't wrestling in it, but they put in Bodie, what's the kid's name? Is it Bodie Miller at 172?
Yep.
So Asher Cunningham's ranked number 5 in the country, and Bodie, he can't do it. And they're like, Pennsylvania, it's just like, all right, he can't make it. What are we gonna do? We're losing the number 5 guy in the country. Oh, don't worry about it. We also have the number 6 guy in the country. We'll throw him in. You know what I mean? So there's gonna be some good matches there. But I think that Pennsylvania has a chance this year. There's some
Aaron
guys.
Cement. That name sounds so familiar.
What's the name? Cement. He just ran through the PA State tournament this year.
Is he from Jersey though?
He may be. He might actually be.
And then transferred in?
He
Transferred in?
might have moved. That's something that I'd have to look into, but he might have. Yeah, he went through the tournament this year. He was pretty impressive at the state tournament. But yeah, the Dapper Dan, they do that out at Cannon Mac. We spend a lot of time out, and oh no, they do it at the University of Pittsburgh. They do it. That's where they always hold it. I don't know if Cannon Mac is like the head, like the promoters or whatnot, but yeah, that should be good if Pennsylvania can pull that one out. There's and the reason I brought that up is there's a kid that's wrestling in it from Pennsylvania, Ty Morrison, and he's going Division II, Pitt Johnstown.
That's a good team to go to.
So shout out to a Division II team making its way in there. You don't see that often. Those are the best guys in the country. So
Man.
very cool. His brother's over there at Pitt Johnstown. You guys are D3, right?
Yeah. We
So
wrestle Pitt Johnstown. And
they're
we
always
wrestle
good.
like they're good.
They're always good. Yeah.
And then St. Cloud State is real good, D2.
What else do we got on the on the Serena front of things?
Yeah, what we got, Serena?
What we got
No,
going on over in your
honestly,
section?
we covered everything. The only thing
Talk to us about some products. What we got coming out?
Yeah, what do we got in the
we got,
product area?
I know, we have a lot of our Keystone State Championship stuff on sale right now. So if you didn't get your gear there, new upcoming products. We are working on new things. Not going to announce it yet because I'm going to wait for the okay from the director of operations because I don't want to say something and it's wrong. So we're going to wait to announce, but I know she is working on a few new products for custom gear. So if you're a coach listening, give us a call, 866-609-7263.
Okay. And that's how the coaches could get their team orders. They go through
They
you.
could call. They could give me a call. They could give Kevin a call. They could give Anthony a call, Tom a call. Go on our website, fill out the form. You'll get it assigned to a sales rep if you've never worked with us before, and we go from there.
Okay.
Easy peasy. We'll be knocking on your doors until you answer us. So once you fill out that form, we'll be calling.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I got one of the, I was telling Serena today, one of the, I work with this guy down in Florida. He's from Pennsylvania. His brother was a state champ. They were both going for the, like, they're like, they were planning on like the Olympic dream, you know, like they were really good Pennsylvania wrestlers. The one was like a PA state champ. And then 9/11 happened and they decided to go into war. Their name's Eric Frick and Nick Frick. But I think they have a really cool story. These guys are like, yo, they call me and they're just like, yo, Kev, when am I gonna get my t-shirt, dude? And they're
Yeah.
just like outrageous. I'm telling you, if they came on this show, they are just like,
Yeah, no, tell them I sent you the link. Tell them to fill that out. We'll see when they're available. And because we
yeah,
are
I
looking
sent
for
it to
more
them.
guests,
I sent
we're
it to them.
gonna have
They would be, I would love to have them both on here because I can't even tell when I'm talking to them which one's which because they're like the same personality.
yeah.
And like, I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, like so and so. He'd be like, yep, I know him. Wrestled him in '99, pinned him in 37 seconds. He's like, I would have been in. They're great, man. But he got the link. So I'm hoping I'm gonna send it out to some of my coaches because there's some guys that have some pretty cool stories that
Yeah.
I'd like to hear too.
You know, any young wrestlers too. Like we only had Mario as a wrestler. We had more coaches on this, obviously, but
Yeah,
referees, wrestlers, we're looking for anybody.
yeah.
Even fighters. We had Jojo on here. He went from a wrestler to fighting professionally.
Oh
Speaking,
man.
we got a fight next week.
That I do.
Fight night.
Yo, you're fighting. We got to talk about this. We can't leave this unsaid.
I thought I was gonna let it slide.
Never.
Let's go.
So
Get me all fired up, Damani.
yeah, so right after the national tournament, a couple days later, Monday, right, I go into boxing, first time boxing in probably a few months. Been there, sitting there hitting mitts, and then my boxing coach, Victor Fagnans, he's like, "Hey man," he's like 72, he old, but he funny as hell. He's like, "Hey, you look sharp, bro." I go, "Nah, I don't look sharp." Like, and in my mind, I'm like, "Oh, maybe gear up for like May, June." He's like, "Nah, you look good." I'm like, "Nah." And so I'm like, "Oh, just let it slide." Finish the workout. I'm at work the next day, and he calls me. He goes, "Yo, what you doing?" It's midday. I'm like, "Oh, he's probably gonna ask me to train like middle of the day. He probably didn't go to work." I go, "I'm at work. What's up?" He goes, "Oh, all right." He goes, "You're fighting next week." I go, "What? What? What?" I go, "What do you mean I'm fighting next week?"
Oh boy.
Yeah. I was like, "What do you mean I'm fighting next week?" He goes, Yeah, you're fighting next week." I go, "Says who?" He's like, "Nah, you can't say no. We already said yes." I go, "What?" So,
Where's
long
the
story
fight?
short,
We're not afraid.
it's at
Never
it's
back
at
down from the fight.
the historical Park Theater in Cranston, Rhode Island for classic entertainment and sports fighting promotion. So that will be April 5th next. So Saturday, and
You got new shorts coming.
new shorts coming. Be on the
Is this
lookout. We couldn't get the shirts rolled out this time because again, this is 2 weeks notice. Thank
Yeah.
God shorts come in. But yeah, I told them I was like, yo, I can't make weight right now. They're like, nah, no problem. So they bumped me up. So now I'm fighting at like 156. So trim down a little bit. I see it in my face a little bit, but weight should be fine. Um, don't know who I'm fighting. The first guy who they tried to get, he already said no. He was like, yeah, there's no way I'm fighting that guy. And then so we got someone else. I haven't seen no film, so we're just gonna go in there and do what we do, and hope for the best.
How many fights have you had prior?
This will be my third pro fight, and
Okay.
then I did like 6
You did some
boxing events.
amateurs.
Just
Let's go, dude.
no amateur MMA at all
Get
whatsoever.
me all fired up. I'm ready to go. I'll run
There's
through a
no
wall for you.
I'm about to
I'm
go in
jacked up
there.
right now.
I'm about to
Can I
go in
watch it
there.
online, or is it like just on or on TV?
Nah, it'll be
Yeah, what
streamed.
do we watch?
I think they do theirs through the Roku TV.
Okay.
So like you just go on your browser and go Roku TV in your browser and it'll pull it up. But yeah, this guy's about to get hit with bricks. We're gonna send him to the abyss. 3-0.
3-0. Let's go.
He,
I
he
know.
he can't. He's not ready for what's coming. He's
No.
not. What's
No
his
shit.
What's this guy's background?
He doesn't know who he's fighting.
Oh, you don't know
Losing.
who you're
His
fighting.
background is in losing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He's already starting the
Yes.
smack talk.
No, he's a boxer. He's a boxer.
He's a boxer.
Yeah,
Listen,
so
there's something to be said, especially in the early days when you're fighting those early fights, like the grind of knowing what it's like to get ready for a wrestling match 3 times a week, make weight 3 times a week, the grind of a wrestling season. Like these guys down there don't know that grind. They just don't know that grind.
they
They
don't.
don't. They don't know that grind. I'm pretty confident for you. So go take care of
Lots
business,
of
man.
testimony.
Yeah, you
We're all
excited?
for
Are
ya.
you excited?
No, not at all. I actually hate fighting. I hate
You get
fighting.
nervous?
Why do you do it?
I I'm good at it. I'm so
Do you
far
get
I've been
nervous?
good. I get so like they say, oh, you wrestled and this and that. Like I was saying the same thing. I was like, I've competed forever. I competed in front of big crowds. I did the Rough and Rowdy events, which were like 8,000 packed, like I headlined. But it's something about it, man. Like this guy's gonna be in there and he's gonna try to take my head off, and then I'm in the back like this.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but
it's
then
different.
as
You
soon as
don't
I
get
hit the
punched in a
tunnel, I'm
wrestling match.
yeah,
You don't get punched.
yeah.
You know
It's
what I
just
mean?
so if
So
you're out there considering fighting, don't do it.
I'm jealous, dude. I
Don't do
always
it.
wanted to get in a cage and fight, but
Oh,
I
crazy.
always said I was always like, I feel like that is like my happy place. If you throw me in a cage and say fight to the death, I'm like, dude, this is where I want to be. But I just never did it. But I'm jealous that you're in there. I
It's
mean, I
crazy.
would probably jump in even if I didn't have any training. I'd be like, throw me in there, I'll go and fight.
It's
So
crazy.
I'm happy I watched you go get the job done.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of training. Like in the last 2 weeks, I've been kind of doubling up on sessions. Like last night, I went to boxing, then went to MMA. The night before that, I was at gi jujitsu class, and then right into like a crazy sparring session. Just like right now, I'm probably gonna go do jujitsu, and then probably do some wall work, like Saturday sparring. So it's just
Just good
nonstop.
clean living. Just good clean living.
That's it.
That's all
Eating
it is. It's good
eating
clean
like
living.
a bird. I hate it. I hate it. I like DoorDash. Like if DoorDash had like a leaderboard like video games do, I'd probably be top 100 in the world on DoorDash leaderboard.
Nice.
But with this, I'm like, brown rice, chicken,
Yeah.
water, shelter, water.
Yeah. But you're
I
gonna
hate
take care of business, man. I'm pumped for
it.
you.
That's it. Let's do it.
Pumped for you. You know
Let's
what?
do it.
You're a gladiator, man.
Some might say, yeah. I guess.
Yeah.
Some may say.
So
Well,
that's
Vicky will
that's
be up on Wednesday. Yeah, Vicky's coming up on Wednesday. We could get her on the pod
let's
next week,
go.
right before the fight. Have
Yeah,
Vicky jump on.
This is a
yeah.
big week. We had NCAAs. We have the Dapper Dan coming up. We got transfer portal. Like, we got a lot of stuff going. And then hits us with a bomb that Damani's just about to go throw some haymakers in a cage. Like, I like that.
Coming in, who is in the WWE world, so she's gonna. Yeah, let's have her.
Heck yeah.
Well, I'll
Okay.
make her. I'll make her jump on next week.
Yeah.
So next week we're gonna be living, thriving, surviving, doing the thing how we do it. You know this. Boom, 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 boom. Go Pokes.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Well, I guess that's a wrap, everybody.
All right. Guys, I appreciate you having me on again. I had a good time.
Yeah.
Oh
Good, guys, and see you guys next week.
Go Pokes.